Hi everybody, welcome to the channel at Grapple Strike Nottingham, here with John tonight. Went to an event at the weekend and was showing some sparring and some ways in which to get through people's guards, and it was pretty effective. So what I want to do is I want to share that with you. It's a really good way of making sure that you land something in a combination. Now I've put big gloves on, but so you can see my hands really easily. It works with big gloves, it works with smaller hybrid gloves, it works without. So it doesn't matter, but it's just this is easier for you to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to think, well, all these times when we're not in range, here, and we're moving around and we're trying to get through a guard, we want to make sure that something is effective and we don't get hit when we're going in to that guard. We don't want to walk in. You see people throwing combinations. It's very difficult to land shots in a combination if they're all designed to hit the target, the scoring target. So we're going to use ways in which to throw things to break down the position and break down what I call the zones. So basically the zones is that this backhand, here look, in other words, his right is stopping my left. Wherever it can be, his right stopping my left. We're not going to do legs tonight. I will show some kicks, but we're not going to do legs themselves. Same principle though. And his left hand is stopping my right. Wherever I go, these are the zones we're talking about. Now realistically, if I'm with John, if I'm going to throw a jab here. Would you just drop that hand so you can see it on him? If I throw a jab at John's face, he can parry it, no problem. There. If I throw it with momentum to hit him, he can spin it. And if he spins it, he can counter off it. But I've got to have the momentum to do that. Now, I'm going to use that to set up what I want to do. So what I want to do, first of all, when I'm out here, is I'm going to throw at the zones. So, not all the time, I'm going to keep jabbing, I'm going to move, he doesn't know what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to move around, but I'm going to throw at the zones. So, let's slowly start with, so I'll throw at that hand, so he can't spin or counter. I'm basically putting it in the way, but it's got to look like a proper jab. And I'm going to throw then at this hand. Because what I'm doing is I'm freezing that in place and I'm freezing that in place to stop the counter. So it allows me, when I do this, to move around and strike myself. It allows me to throw over the top. It allows me to throw down the middle. It allows me here to throw kicks off it. I'm in effect freezing this place. You can't do it all the time. You literally cannot do that every time, so get wise to it. But if you mix it up with other things, it works really well. One of the other things I'll mix it up with is throwing the punch themselves at the target, and the other one is throwing what I call a show. In other words, I want to throw something that takes his eyes off what I'm doing. I throw up, I tend to show my wrist a little bit at the last minute, so he doesn't know where I am. So if I'm normally jabbing and I'm moving around and I want to do some footwork, I might show a show and I step to the side. This show will then allow me to kick in, or even with the show, throw over the top. So when you're sparring, or when you're fighting even, don't just go for the targets, because your jab, cross, hook, or whatever combination you're going to throw, don't let it just be look or speed that goes through. Think about how you can make them work with your movement, how you can make them work with showing as well. Give it a try. I think it works really nicely. Thank you, John.